His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Vrajikacharya Astatar Sutta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Srila Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Prem se Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudhi Gaur Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai Shri Shri Panchatattva Ki Jai Shri Prahlad Nrsimhadev Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhava Astasakis Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru, Shri Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavari Pastachade Shatane. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasa Tato Jayamudirayat Nasta Prayeshu Bhadrayeshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, text number 1. Chapter is entitled Vidura's Talks with Maitreya. Please repeat after me. Śrī-śuka uvāca dvāri dyu-nadyā ṛṣabhaḥ kurūṇāṁ maitreyam āsīnam agādha-bodham kṣattopasṛtyācyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ papraccha sauśīlya-guṇābhitṛptaḥ śrī-śuka uvāca dvāri dyu-nadyāḥ ṛṣabhaḥ kurūṇāṁ maitreyam āsīnam agādha-bodham kṣattopasṛtyācyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ papraccha sauśīlya-guṇābhitṛptaḥ śrī-śuka uvāca dvāri dyu-nadyāḥ ṛṣabhaḥ kurūṇāṁ maitreyam āsīnam agādha-bodham kṣattopasṛtyācyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ papraccha sauśīlya-guṇābhitṛptaḥ. Please chant. Śrī-śuka uvāca dvāri dyu-nadyāḥ ṛṣabhaḥ kurūṇāṁ maitreyam āsīnam agādha-bodham kṣattopasṛtyācyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ papraccha sauśīlya-guṇābhitṛptaḥ śrī-śuka uvāca dvāri dyu-nadyāḥ ṛṣabhaḥ kurūṇāṁ maitreyam āsīnam agādha-bodham kṣattopasṛtyācyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ papraccha sauśīlya-guṇābhitṛptaḥ. Vaishnavis, śrī-śuka uvāca dvāri dyu-nadyāḥ ṛṣabhaḥ kurūṇāṁ maitreyam āsīnam agādha-bodham kṣattopasṛtyācyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ uvāca. Dvāri dyu-nadyāḥ ṛṣabhaḥ kurūṇāṁ. Maitreya āsīnam agādha-bodham. kṣattopasṛtyācyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ. Papraccha sauśīlya-guṇābhitṛptaḥ. Kids must be on parikrama. Yeah. Okay, good. Synonyms. Śrī-śuka uvāca. Śukadeva Gosvāmī said, dvāri, at the source of, dyu-nadyāḥ, the celestial river, Ganges, ṛṣabhaḥ, the best of the Kurus, kurūṇāṁ, of the Kurus, maitreyam, unto Maitreya, āsīnam, sitting, agādha-bodham, of unfathomed knowledge, kṣattā, Vidura, upasṛtya, having approached nearer, acyuta, the infallible Lord, bhava, character, siddhaḥ, perfect, papraccha, inquired, sauśīlya, gentleness, guṇa-abhitṛptaḥ, satisfied in transcendental qualities. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charana Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Śukadeva Gosvāmī said, Vidura, the best amongst the Kuru dynasty, who was perfect in devotional service to the Lord, thus reached the source of the celestial Ganges river, Haridwar, where Maitreya, the great fathomless learned sage of the world, was seated. Vidura, who was perfect in gentleness and satisfied in transcendence, inquired from him. Please repeat after me. Sri Śukadeva Gosvāmī said, Vidura, the best amongst the Kuru dynasty, who was perfect in devotional service to the Lord, thus reached the source of the celestial Ganges river, Haridwar, where Maitreya, the great, fathomless, learned sage of the world, was seated. Vidura, who was perfect in gentleness and satisfied in transcendence, inquired from him. Purport. Vidura was already perfect due to his unalloyed devotion to the infallible Lord. The Lord and the living entities are all qualitatively the same by nature, but the Lord is quantitatively much greater than any individual living entity. He is ever infallible, whereas the living entities are prone to fall under the illusory energy. Vidura had already surpassed the fallible nature of the living entity in conditioned life due to his being acyuta-bhava, or legitimately absorbed in the devotional service of the Lord. This stage of life is called acyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ, or perfection by dint of devotional service. Anyone, therefore, who is absorbed in the devotional service of the Lord is a liberated soul and has all admirable qualities. The learned sage Maitreya was sitting in a solitary place on the bank of the Ganges at Haridwar, and Vidura, who was a perfect devotee of the Lord and possessed all good transcendental qualities, approached him for inquiry. Śrī-śuka uvāca, dvāri dyu-nadyā, ṛṣabhaḥ kurūṇāṁ, maitreyam āsīnam agādha-bodham, kṣattopasṛtyācyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ, papraccha sauśīlya-guṇābhitṛptaḥ. Om jnana-timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshur unmilitam jena tasmai shri gurve namaha. Shri Chaitanya manobhishtam stapitam yena bhutale svayam rupa kadam mayam dadati svapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So it is my great honor and pleasure to be here today, here in Sri Mayapur Dham. So we're all very fortunate to be here today in Mayapur, this most holy place in the universe. Before I begin speaking today, I seek the blessings of all the devotees present here today, especially senior devotees, Srila Prabhupada's direct disciples, and all of his grand disciples and great-grand disciples, and all devotees to come. So please give me your blessings. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So this chapter, third canto, fifth chapter, is called Vidura's Talks with Maitreya. And in this section, we will see the divine qualities of Vidura. He's very gentle, He's very satisfied. And as a dint of his wonderful qualities and the mercy of the Lord, he's attained a very high platform of transcendence called acyuta-bhava. Acyuta refers to the Supreme Lord, and bhava means the mood and emotions. So he's attained acyuta-bhava-siddhaḥ, perfection by dint of this acyuta-bhava. His mood of absorption in acyuta, the Supreme Lord, the infallible one. So he's fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, and seeing the example of Vidura, we're reminded of a beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 14, text number 4. Please repeat after me. Mam chayo vyabhicharena, mam chayo vyabhicharena, bhakti yogena sevate, bhakti yogena sevate, sagunan samatityaitan, sagunan samatityaitan, brahma bhuyaya kalpate, brahma bhuyaya kalpate, mam chayo vyabhicharena. That one who is absorbed in Krishna consciousness, avyabhicharena, without any cessation, without any break, just without any distancing, fully absorbed in bhakti, bhakti yogena sevate, sagunan samatityaitan, all the gunas, Rajagun, Tamagun, Sattvagun, Samastitaitan, going above the modes of material nature. Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. They're fully fixed in the Supreme Lord, fully fixed in Brahman. So, before we proceed further, I'd like to just review a little bit this section of Srimad Bhagavatam so we can get like where we are and what is happening. So Śukadeva Gosvāmī is speaking to Maharaj Parikshit about how Vidura is approaching Maitreya. So first Vidura approaches Uddhava, who's much younger than him, and we learn in that section Maryada Vyatikrama, that one should not speak in the presence of a senior personality. And I'm getting a creeping suspicion here with so many senior devotees in the room that I may be guilty of this Maryada Vyatikrama. But the senior devotees, the management of ISKCON Mayapur, have deputed me with the service of speaking Bhagavatam today. So I am taking the risk. Right? Srila Prabhupada said we should take risks for Krishna. So I'm taking the risk. Please bless me that I do not come under this fault of Maryada Vyatikrama. Maryada Vyatikrama is very dangerous. That if we try to surpass a higher personality, if a person is present with more knowledge, more seniority, and we speak in front of them, we run a great risk because the Lord is not happy when we do this. So I remember Vaisheshika Prabhu gave class when this Maryada Vyatikrama section came up, and it stuck in my heart again and again as we continue our life here in Mayapur, associating with devotees, doing service, going on parikrama, to be very careful not to surpass the superior Vaishnavas. And one thing that just came to my mind this morning, when we were chanting the shlokas on the board, it's a good idea to give the senior devotees the first shot at it. You know, give them the first opportunity to chant. And thus Prabhuji felt obliged and to come forward and encourage the junior devotees to give the opportunity to the senior devotees. So I would recommend this. This is always good to always try to defer to the senior devotees. So, continuing, today's verse, śrī-śuka uvāca. Dvāri, dyu-nadyā, ṛṣabhaḥ, kurūṇāṁ. So dvāri, dyu-nadyā, nadyā means nadi. Nadi means river. So where is this happening? This is happening on the nadi, on the river, on the Ganges. And this is at Haridwar. And who is this referring to? Kurūṇāṁ, ṛṣabhaḥ, kurūṇāṁ, O best of the Kurus, Vidura. Maitreyam, āsīnam, agādha-bodham. Maitreyam, āsīnam, asam, idam, āsīnam. Āsīnam means to have a seat. So Maitreya was seated there. Agādha-bodham. Bodha means knowledge, and agādha means very, very deep. He had fathomless knowledge, as deep as the ocean. kṣattopasṛtyācyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ. So upasṛtya, Vidura came closer to Maitreya, and he was acyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ. He had a acyuta-bhava, and he was siddhaḥ, perfect in his bhava, his mood of acyuta-bhava, his perfection of perfect mood, being absorbed in acyuta. Papraccha sauśīlya-guṇābhitṛptaḥ. So papraccha, prapadyante, he inquired, he made an inquiry, which is very essential for all disciples to make an inquiry of the Guru. Tadviti pranipatena, parishprashnena sevaya, parishprashnena sevaya, upadekshanti te jnanam, upadekshanti te jnaninas tattvadarshanaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching the spiritual master. Inquire from them submissively. Pariprashnena. Sevaya, offer service. Upadekshanti te jnanam. They can initiate you into knowledge. Tattvadarshanaha. Jnaninas tattvadarshana. They have seen the truth. So this is the mood of Vidura approaching Maitreya. Very submissive, humble, and offering the inquiry. And his mood is sauśīlya. Sauśīlya means gentleness. He's very gentle. So gentleness is an important quality of the disciple. Actually, it's an essential quality of knowledge. Without gentleness and humility, there's no knowledge. Vidya vinaya sampane, brahmane gavi hastani, shuni chaiva supakecha, shuni chaiva supa, panditaha samadarshanaha, panditaha. So vidya, one who has knowledge, and vinaya, one who has humility and gentleness, sampane, armed with, they can see the gavi, the cow, the hastani, the elephant, the brahmana, the swapakecha, the dog eater. He can see them all equally because he sees the soul, the atma, within the heart of all the living entities. So this quality of sauśīlya, of gentleness, is very much required. And Vidura has this quality. Another great quality of Vidura mentioned in today's verse is triptaha. He's satisfied. He's satisfied in transcendence. So this is a quality we should cultivate, satisfaction. That satisfaction is an austerity of the mind, and we should be ready to perform that austerity, endeavor to perform that austerity. Ishavasya idam sarvam, Ishavasya idam sarvam, yatkincha jagacham jagat, yatkincha jagacham jagat, chena chak chena bunjata, chena chak chena bunj, magridhatas vidhanam. So everything in this universe, moving, non-moving, it's owned by the Supreme Lord, and we only get our quota, and we should be satisfied with our quota, whatever we receive from the Lord. So this austerity of satisfaction should be cultivated. We should have faith. Whatever the Lord has given, that is what I deserve. Actually, I deserve much worse. And the Lord is just giving me some facilities in order to serve Him. And if times are difficult, that's for our purification. Tate nukampam susamikshanmano. Tate nukampam sumamikshama. Bunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Bunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Vidvag vipur bir vidadanimaste. Vidvag vipur bir vidadanimaste. Jivetio mukti pade sadhayabha. Jivetio mukti pade sadhayabha. Oh my Lord, so many terrible things I've done in this lifetime. So many terrible things I've done in my previous lifetime. Whatever suffering I'm undergoing in this lifetime, I deserve much worse. You're only giving me a small iota, a small token of the suffering that I actually deserve. And a person who can pray in this mood, the kingdom, with a grateful heart, the kingdom of God becomes their rightful claim. So moving on to the purport, Srila Prabhupada begins the purport today by saying that Vidura was already perfect due to his unalloyed devotion to the infallible Lord. So he was very perfect. He was still perfect. He was already perfect. Nigama kalpa taror galitam phalam. Nigama kalpa taror galitam phalam. Śukadeva-Gosvāmī. Śukadeva-Gosvāmī. Pibata Bhagavatam ṛṣabhaḥ. Pibata Bhagavatam ṛṣabhaḥ. Mohuraho rasikabu vibhavakaha. Mohuraho rasikabu vibhav. Oh, learned men, oh, sacred, learned men, just accept this Srimad Bhagavatam, the ripened fruit of all the Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lotus lips of Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. So here we have a liberated soul, Vidura, but still he's anxious to hear. He's anxious to hear Bhagavatam from Maitreya. Vayam dyu-nadyā. Vayam dyu-nadyā. Kripaya aap sab boliye. Please everyone chant. Vayam dyu-nadyā. Uttama shloka vikrame yatshrinvatam rasajnanam swadu swadu pade pade. The great sages at Naimisharanya, Shri Radha Madhava ki jai. The great sages at Naimisharanya, they pray, oh my dear Lord, we never tire of hearing the messages of the Supreme Lord, Uttama Shloka, who's glorified with hymns and prayers. Those who have developed a taste for transcendental relationships with Him, they yearn to hear this message at every moment. So Vidura, he's already perfect. Prabhupada says he's perfect, but still he's desiring to hear. So what to speak of us, who have so many anarthas, who have so far to go in our journey of devotion. At least speaking for myself, many of you may also be on this acyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ stage. But speaking for myself, I know that I have a long way to go. But Vidura was so eager to hear from Maitreya. Srila Prabhupada continues in the purport, the Lord is ever infallible, whereas the living entities are prone to fall under the illusory energy. Does anyone here know anyone who's prone to fall under the illusory energy? Yes, happens occasionally. So, but Vidura is beyond that platform. He doesn't fall. As we said in the beginning, Mam cho vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Beyond the modes. And he's fully absorbed. Acyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ. Devi yesha gunamayi. Devi yesha gunamayi. Mama maya durataya. Mama maya durataya. Mameva ye prapadyante, mameva ye prapadyante, maya me tam tarantite. The Lord says, 7th chapter, text 14, that this illusory energy, mama maya durataya, it's my energy, it's durataya, very difficult to overcome. Maya me tam tarantite. But one who surrenders unto me can cross over this ocean of material suffering and can overcome Maya. So it requires surrender. And surrender means surrender to the authorities. And the supreme authority in Kali Yuga is the Yuga Dharma avatar Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. And the Yuga avatar has given us the Yuga Dharma. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam. Kalona steva nasteva 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 gatiranyata. In this age of Kali, we should chant the holy names, chant the holy names, chant the holy names. There's no other way, no other way, no other way. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So further down in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, Vidura had already surpassed the fallible nature of the living entity. It's amazing. He surpassed the fallible nature of the living entity. No longer fallible. No longer subject to faults. Incredible. How? Due to his being acyuta bhava, or legitimately absorbed in the devotional service of the Lord. This stage of life is called acyuta-bhava-siddhaḥ. Called acyuta-bhava-siddhaḥ. Called acyuta-bhava-siddhaḥ. Or perfection by dint of devotional service. And there's another beautiful verse in Bhagavad Gita 18:55. Bhaktyamam abhijananti, Bhaktyamam abhijananti. Yavanyas chasmi tatfataha, Yavanyas chasmi tat, tatomam tatfato yatva, Vishate tadanantaram. Only by bhakti can I be known in truth, and when I am known in truth, one doesn't have to take birth in this material world again, but goes to my supreme abode. So this is acyuta-bhava-siddhaḥ, a perfection by dint of devotional service. And it is amazing how we hear in Bhagavatam different examples like Vidura, devotees who have attained this acyuta-bhava-siddhaḥ. And it's also amazing to see, even within the present day Sankirtan movement, devotees exhibiting the symptoms of acyuta-bhava-siddhaḥ. And I am reminded of one such devotee who yesterday we celebrated the Vyasa Puja of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj ki jai. So I just want to say a few things about Maharaj and different aspects of his behavior exhibiting this acyuta-bhava-siddhaḥ. For one thing, he was a fearless preacher, completely dedicated to the distribution of Krishna consciousness. He was truly seeing the misery of others as his own misery, para dukkha dukhi. One time, and he was very extraordinary in his new ideas of utilizing the material energy in Krishna's service. So one time, he landed in a country in Africa, and he immediately booked the biggest stretched limousine, big car, the biggest one he could find, brand new shiny car, Very impressive. And he drove to the king's palace. And he did not have an appointment. The guards came out to see what was going on. Maharaj rolled down the window, gave them a smile, and they opened the gates and let him inside. He was taken right to the king, and he preached to the king the message of Krishna consciousness. And the king became favorably inclined. Param Puja Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj ki jai. And he was risking his life doing book distribution. We have Vijay Prabhu is here just now, retired from our book distribution minister, but still active in book distribution. So he knows the dedication of dedicating one's life to book distribution. And Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was part of Srila Prabhupada's library party, distributing Prabhupada's books to so many libraries. Behind the Iron Curtain in the Eastern Bloc, European communist countries, and behind the Iron Curtain of the Soviet Union, when being caught distributing Srila Prabhupada's books could mean imprisonment, torture, or death. But Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was always enthusiastic and always continued his service. And Krishna always saved him. Mari Krishna Rakhe Ke, Rakhe Krishna Mari Ke. If Krishna wants to kill you, no one can save you. If Krishna wants to save you, no one can kill you. So he was always saved, and he always distributed so many books in so many amazing ways. I'm sure Vijay Prabhu could tell some amazing stories of the book distribution. I'll leave some room for comments. Think of one, okay? Please. And in this way, he came to meet Srila Prabhupada in 1977, when Srila Prabhupada was getting ready to leave this mortal world. And Srila Prabhupada asked him about the book scores. And he shared some stories. He told him about the book scores. And Srila Prabhupada reached up and embraced Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I remember one time I was traveling in the United States with Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj and Param Puja Radhanath Maharaj, Malati Devi. We traveled to Cincinnati, Ohio. And there was a big outdoor festival. It was called the Lord Have Mercy Festival. Lord Have Mercy. Anyone ever attend this festival? Fantastic festival. The Muslims were invited, the Jews were invited, the Christians were invited, the Mormons were invited, all the different groups were invited to participate. And they all glorified the Lord in different ways. It was the first time I heard a Muslim rap group. Allah, you know, they were really fired up. And then Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, he gave an amazing lecture speaking about the glories of the holy name from every different scripture, from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, but also from the Torah, from the Quran, from the Bible, from the Muslim literature. And he's glorified the holy name so nicely. And then he invited everyone to come together on the stage for a big kirtan. And they all were chanting and dancing, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It was a very blissful festival. Krishna Nandini Mataji her mother was there. Her mother was in her 80s. But her mother was dancing on the stage even more enthusiastically than Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. And I met her afterwards. I said, Mataji, how are you dancing so enthusiastically? She said, son, I'm 84 years old. But when I chant and dance in the kirtan, I feel like I'm just sweet 16. A very wonderful association of devotees. It was amazing. He brings together a wonderful mood of devotion. And I stayed with him in Gita Nagari with Radhanath Maharaj in his home in the building called the Institute. And he was very warm and hospitable and loving to all the devotees. So one time I was here in Mayapur. This was about 15, 20 years ago. Those days I used to play the trumpet. Do you remember when I played the trumpet? Doo, 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 like that. I got a call from the GBC. Somebody came. They said, the chairman of the GBC wants to see you right now. Bring your trumpet. I said, what is this about? So I got my trumpet. I was just a new devotee, maybe 5 years in ISKCON. New by our terminology. In the early days, Prabhupada's movement, 5 years was senior devotee. I was a new devotee, 5 years. I got my trumpet. I ran up to the GBC meeting office upstairs in the Conch building. And all the GBC members were there. And they said, today is the Vyasa Puja, the birthday of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. We want you to play happy birthday on the trumpet when he comes in. So much love and affection his godbrothers have for him. His godbrothers, his godsisters have for him. So Maharaj came to the GBC meeting. Everyone stood up. Do, 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 do. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to you. And Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj took over. There was a big kirtan. He's dancing with his knees high in the air, and everyone was in ecstasy. Really wonderful. We're remembering him also on Navadvip Mandal Parikrama. He used to attend every year and inspire the devotees. So Maharaj had this quality of para dukkha dukhi. And towards his later years, towards the end of his manifest pastimes in this world, he began to exhibit more and more this mood of para dukkha dukhi. And he took on the mood of Vasudev Dat. And he actually began to pray to the Lord in the mood of Vasudev Dat, praying to Lord Chaitanya. And Vasudev Dat prayed, my dear Lord, you have come to this world to deliver all the fallen conditioned souls. On this day, I offer my petition to you. My dear Lord, you can do anything you want. Whatever you desire becomes true. My heart burns when I see the suffering of all the conditioned living entities in this material world. Please let me take the reactions of all their sins, of all their karmas. Let me take the reactions on my head. Oh, my dear Lord, let me suffer perpetually in this material existence so that they may be delivered. Please save them from this diseased material condition of life. So this was the prayer of Vasudev Dat. And this was the mood that Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj embraced. And then Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he wound up his manifest pastimes in this world, surrounded by loving devotees and inspiring us all to carry on this legacy of acyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ, seeking perfection by being absorbed in Krishna consciousness and serving the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prithivitayachayatanagaradigram, Prithivitayachayatanagaradigram, Sarvatra prachar hoibe moranam. To spread the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. We see this example in Srila Prabhupada. We see this example in many of Srila Prabhupada's followers. And let us all support each other in this journey. Let us cooperate together encourage each other, have sadhu sangha, have festivals together, serve each other, so that we could all aspire to come closer and closer to the ultimate goal of this acyuta-bhāva-siddhaḥ. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you, thank you. So are there any questions or comments? Yes? Yes, Vijay Prabhu, please go ahead.
I have a very nice class, thank you very much. I have a interesting pastime with Bhakti Tirtha Swami. You know, he did a lot of preaching in Africa. He was giving a class in Ghana. And this was such a good class that the one radio announcer, he put it online, to the country. It was so fired up. I mean, for those of you who ever heard Bhakti Tirtha Swami, he's like super fired up. So the Prime Minister heard that speech by Bhakti Tirtha Swami, and he called the radio announcer. He said, "Put this on every Sunday." So then after a couple of weeks or a few weeks, he got a call from the mayor. And the mayor said, "Why do you keep on putting this same lecture on every Sunday?" And he said, "Because I was told by your boss to do it." "My boss? What do you mean?" "The Prime Minister." He said, "Oh, okay." Another one about Bhakti Tirtha Swami. You know, he would travel all over the world. I ran into him many times, traveling around. He was in Brazil. In Brazil, there was no book distribution. He had one disciple in Brazil, and he asked, what can I do? What should my service be here? And he said, "Well, try to get book distribution going again." And this devotee was so fired up, he actually got book distribution going again in Brazil. So, yeah.
He got empowered.
Yeah. He was very much into book distribution and, of course, preaching Krishna consciousness. There's a couple of things.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Someone else would like to share? Any comments or questions? Yes, please pass her the microphone. It seems like a long way, but it's not really that long. It's coming. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you for a very enthusiastic lecture and for enlivening all of us. I'm very grateful for that. Speaking of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami, Maharaj's earnest endeavor was to have loving relationships, especially in our ISKCON. So just like this Prime Minister who asked that speech to be had again and again, can we have the 4 principles of community building flashed on the Mayapur TV website again and again?
Thank you very much for your comment and suggestion. If I understand your comment and suggestion properly, your comment is you're glorifying Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj for his wonderful cultivation and encouragement of loving relationships amongst devotees in all of our communities. And you're also suggesting that the 4 pillars of community building should be flashed continuously, or at least regularly, on our ISKCON Mayapur TV website. Is that correct?
Correct. Treat everyone you encounter as if the success of your spiritual life depends on the quality of the interaction you have with them. Principle number 1. I don't want to go into the rest.
Can you do 2?
See all conflicts as your fault first. That's number 2. I can't I'm nervous right now, so I can't remember 3 and 4.
I think I remember number 3, or
Okay.
it might be number 4.
Okay.
Number 3, that always consider that the devotees that are around you now in your community may be very likely the same devotees that will be with you at the time you are leaving your body.
That's number 4.
Oh, that's number 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone can come up with number 3? Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj disciples here, please.
I have some Nasinga oil. Anyone who gets number 3 will get some Nasinga oil. Anyone online? Google Guru? I don't know if I'll get internet from here. Yeah. No, I don't have internet here.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, what else? Anything else? Or kuch chahiye? Yes, Prabhu. Please hand the microphone up here. Here. Please bring the microphone. Yes, thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, wonderful lecture. I joined here in, I think, 95. And after a few years, there was some program, I don't remember. I think it was Gaur Purnima festival. And during this festival, all the big devotees, like all sannyasis, all gurus were here. I have seen so many dance, so many kirtan, but that kirtan was amazing. Because all my Guru Maharaj, Jayapada Swami Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, all senior devotees, they were dancing from Prabhupada to Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava to Prabhupada. And I remember in those days, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj had, it's called, we call duffly. It's like big circle,
Big drum.
Yeah,
Boom,
yeah.
boom,
So
boom,
Maharaj
boom,
used to
boom,
play with
boom,
that.
boom.
And Maharaj was like flying, jumping, wonderful kirtan. And I saw this whole floor was completely watery. And Maharaj completely soaked. That was amazing kirtan.
Jai. Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj ki
Jai.
jai. Okay, for the pleasure of all the Vaishnavas, we have the community building guideline number 3, the principle. Okay. You already shared with us number 3. Number 3, view all conflicts as your own fault first. Right? You shared that. But number 2 is think of the person you love the most and aspire to treat everyone with that same quality of love. So it's 9 o'clock. I was told stop at 9 o'clock, so I'm going to do that. Param Puja Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.